Like most of the countries in the Horn of Africa, Kenya is currently facing the worst drought in decades. Kenya, especially ASAL counties, had 5 failed rainfall seasons. Climate change and climate variability significantly contributed to this unprecedented and protracted ravaging drought and food insecurity. According to latest data, a staggering 4.5 million people in arid and semi-arid areas are facing acute food insecurity and a significant increase of malnutrition rate. Livestock productivity is currently on a declining trend. 40 to 80% of the total livestock in pastoral counties migrated out of their resident livelihood zones to neighboring counties and across the national borders to neighboring countries like Somalia, Ethiopia, South Sudan, Tanzania, and even Uganda. Meanwhile, livestock mortalities across the pastoral and marginal mixed farming zones have increased. This is driven by starvation, dehydration, and diseases as a result of the ravaging drought, which is now on alarming rate. The mortalities are presumed to be 203,198 cattle, 584,250 goats, 615,407 sheep, 83,456 camels across Marsabit, Turkana, and Samburu counties. Equally, the counties of Laikipia, Kajiado, and Nyeri recorded 475,363 livestock deaths due to the ongoing drought. This data corresponds with statistics given to the President by the National Drought Management Authority and partners. Apart from the regular occurrences of the endemic and notifiable livestock diseases, our researchers have recorded an unidentified camel disease outbreak in Garissa. Outbreak of anthrax that left at least 1,000 camels lifeless in Wajir County, as well as cholera outbreak in both the 3 counties of northeastern. The drought migration of livestock from areas as far as Mandera, Wajir, and even Garissa to counties like Kitui and its environs have caused clan clashes that caused or left at least 10 people dead. Further, delegate gathering held in Kenya for the 63rd Greater Horn of Africa Climate Outlook Forum examined the forecast for the March to May 2023 season and points towards depressed rainfall and high temperatures. This is alarming. Ndio maana tunapiga kipenga mapema. In parts of Ethiopia, Kenya, and Somalia, and even Uganda, that have been most affected by the recent drought, this could be the 6th failed consecutive rainfall season. In the wake of these realities, it is shocking that most county governments that are worst hit by drought are doing misplaced development projects, including construction of palatial offices, renovations of offices, and other projects that are not helping the affected drought, people affected by drought and victims of food insecurity at the moment. The governors of Wajir Garissa, Mandera, Turkana, and all the leaders of ASAL counties must use all available resources to help mitigate the crisis, which is the worst indicates. Equally, the national government is doing little about the drought that is currently ravaging entire communities in almost half of the country. Even when the current president introduced himself and campaigned using the pastoralist tag. The Pastoralist Parliamentary Group and the leadership are also not talking of the plight of the electorate, even when their crises are washed in both the mainstream and the digital media. The 4.5 million people facing serious food insecurity is not just a number that the government can just turn a blind eye and continue with other programs. It is time to act now. Horizon Analysts and Researchers Network Harn call on the county governors who are busy investing in projects that are not of benefit for the affected people to stop immediately and channel the resources on smart climate adaptation programs. For the first time, we are recording the emergency of IDP camps in many parts of northern Kenya. These are climate refugees in their own country. We are also telling the leadership of the Pastoralist Parliamentary Group to come out of their hideouts and speak to their electorates, or speak for their electorates. They elected you to represent them, not enjoy and please the ruling regime. It's also time to remind the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, to declare drought as a national disaster. It is no longer just a drought issue. It is a disaster for all the nation. All the indicators are showing that the situation in pastoral counties is really worsening, and there is need for serious intervention at whatever cost. To President William Samoei Ruto, kindly heed our call. Support your fellow pastoralists. You are one of them when things were tough on your side. Today, it is tough on their side. It is time for you to pay back and undertake your responsibilities. Declare drought as a national disaster.